But closer to home, the Supreme Court says it is leaving Title 42 in place for now.
Those translations are very different. In English, it says, lead us not into temptation. But guess what? Jesus didn't speak English. And it's really...
10 creepiest things hidden in the Vatican. Ever since its inception, the Vatican has served as home of some of the most guarded secrets in the world. Researchers and scientists all over the world have been drawn to the quest to uncover some of the mysteries of this city. And here are 10 creepy discoveries that will have you rethink what you know about the Vatican. Number 10. The Vatican Necropolis. Located underneath the Basilica, the Vatican Necropolis is a network of underground tunnels and chambers that hold some of the most shocking discoveries in the Vatican. With thousands of bones discovered in these tunnels, the necropolis is popularly believed to be the burial place for martyrs and even popes, but study has shown that some of them didn't even belong to Christians. Further research links the bone to the time of the 5th century, when pagans were still being killed, and this could have been the burial place for these pagans. And further explorations have revealed even structures that served as churches buried deep beneath the basilica. However, the Vatican has kept the necropolis closed to the public for centuries, leading to many rumors about what lies inside. Some believe that the necropolis contains secret chambers that are filled with ancient artifacts and occult knowledge. Number 9. The death of John Paul I. To this day, there's been no clear detail on the circumstances surrounding the death of Pope John Paul I, who died just 33 days after his installation as Pope in 1978. The official reports have it that the Pope died of a heart attack, but the refusal by the Vatican for an autopsy seemed to suggest that they had something to hide. And so far, there have been speculations as to what might have happened to the Pope, as many believed he was murdered. One of the most popular of the conspiracies is that the Pope was murdered because he was about to expose some corruption going on in the Vatican Bank, and the Bishop Paul Marcinkus scandal that followed later seems to lend credence to this. Number 8. The Vatican Obelisk. The obelisk is a 1,000-year-old Egyptian monument located in the center of the Vatican Piazza, and this begs the question, what is an Egyptian monument doing in the Vatican? The monument was in fact stolen from Egypt. In the time of the Romans, they had built a special ship that helped them transport the monument from Egypt to Rome. And in Rome, Christians were tied at the foot of the monument before being executed. But now, the unsuspecting eyes won't think much of the monument in its new position at the center of the piazza. And it seems that nothing should be taken for its face value in the Vatican, as many do have some really dark history behind them. Number 7. The Bones of St. Peter. Well, back in 2013, Pope Francis took it upon himself to present a box that is believed to contain the bones of St. Peter, the first bishop of Rome. However, this has been followed by many controversies, as it is known that no scientist has ever been allowed to actually vet the bones and confirm the claims. So, it's been unclear why Pope Francis thought it wise to skip all these concerns and present the bones as that of St. Peter. The bones were discovered in 1939, and since then, there's been no actual proof that it belongs to whom they said it belongs to, and other popes have not been definitive on the issue until 2013. With the Vatican's track record, we might never know what they're hiding in that box. Number 6. The Pope Prisoners. The Pope Prisoners is a term used to ascribe to the situation of the popes after the capture of Rome by the Kingdom of Italy in 1870. The popes were placed under strict Italian laws, and consequently, no pope left the Vatican between 1870 and 1929. So why were they placed under strict Italian laws? Well, when the Italian forces took over Rome, they had to curtail the influence of the Pope on the people, and so they made an arrangement that saw that the Pope was respected as royalty, but won't actually have the power to rule independently. So, as a form of protest, the popes confined themselves within the walls of the Vatican for 59 years, until the Lateran Treaty with Benito Mussolini, which saw the creation of an independent state of the Vatican in 1929. 5. The Black Magic Grimoire. You might ask, what does black magic have to do with the Vatican? Black Magic Grimoire is a book of magic that deals with dark forces and rituals. The term grimoire comes from the Old French word grammaire, which means grammar. In the Middle Ages, grimoires were often written in Latin and were considered to be very powerful books of magic that could be used to summon the devil himself. Well, it's not clear why the Vatican is said to have this book, and looking at the other collections that they have, this will come as no surprise. Some believe that the Vatican has this book as a means to summon the devil and even make deals with him. These are things we might never get to learn about as the archives are heavily guarded with limited access. Number 4. The Death Certificate of Jesus. Not as you would imagine a conventional certificate. The Shroud of Turin is a piece of fabric, said to have some inscriptions that might just make it the death certificate of Jesus. And some might begin to wonder if the Vatican is just making up stories. Ever since 1578, the shroud, which is believed to have an imprint of the face of Jesus on it, has been kept in the Cathedral of Turin. According to insider information, this shroud was placed over Jesus of Nazareth, which were written in Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. Mind you, these are details that no one else might get to confirm, given the limited access that we have to these pieces of information. If this story checks out, then we might be onto some remarkable discovery, but we might never know for certain. Number 3. The Pope's Escape Tunnels. The Pope's Tunnel, also known as the Passetto de Borgo, is a secret passageway that connects the Vatican City with Castel Sant'Angelo. It is approximately 800 meters long and was started in the 13th century by Pope Nicholas III. The tunnel was originally built as an escape route for the Pope in case of an attack. It's been used several times by popes to flee danger, most notably by Pope Clement VII in 1527 when he escaped the sack of Rome. The tunnel is now closed to the public, but it can be visited by special arrangement. It's a popular tourist destination and is known for its dark and mysterious atmosphere. It's believed that the tunnel was built in response to the sack of Rome in 1084 when the city was attacked by the Normans. Number 2. Lucifer. There's some who believe that the Vatican has some means of contact with the devil, and even go to the level of believing that the Vatican is being run by the devil and the Pope is under his control. Well, this has easily been dismissed as a conspiracy theory, mainly because it's the same set that believes that the Vatican has had some kind of contract with extraterrestrial life forms, or what you would call aliens. There's been really no evidence to back up this claim, although the Vatican has been known for long to be up some really secretive businesses, which we might never find out its details due to how closely the secrets are guarded. Number 1. The Resurrection Statue. The Resurrection is a very big bronze statue sculpted by artist Pericle Fazzini in the Paul VI Audience Hall in Vatican City. The statue is said to be an instruction of some sort to Christians, and the La Resurrection, as the statue is called, depicts Jesus rising from the dead. The huge sculpture serves as the backdrop in the prestigious Paul VI Audience Hall. The commission for the work was ordered by Count Galesi in 1965. The casting began at the Michelucci Art Foundry in Pistoria in 1972, with the final sketch being produced in 1975. The work was completed and inaugurated on 28th of September 1977. The statue was restored over 3 months in 2011. In commemoration of the 2013 Easter, the Vatican Post issued a postal stamp depicting the statue. And make no mistake, the statue is often described as being outright disturbing and frightening. However, it is said that Fazzini intended it to be a message of hope to Christians and also resilience in the face of the likely horrific events that they will face. He said that the statue was meant to show that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for resurrection. Conclusion. What do you make from some of these likely disturbing revelations? Do you think they might be truths that the Vatican is trying so hard to suppress? Or are they mere conspiracies? Do let us know in the comments section below, and we will see you in our next video.